Hello and welcome to Spiritually Free. I am your host, Lucy, and today I'm going to get into the first house energy. So there are 12 zodiac zodi, zodiac houses, zodiac houses, and each of the 12 houses, as we know them, are represented by zodiac signs. So, for example, the first house would be represented by Aries, and the first house would also be represented by the planet of Mars. So each house has a sign and a physical representation of it as well. So there's physical energy associated with a house and there's spiritual energy associated with a house. We're going to talk about physical first and then go to spiritual. So the physical sides for each house is a planetary body. So that's Venus, Mars, Uranus, Pluto, the sun. Okay, these are planetary bodies. So the physical side is manifested or in this realm as a planet. So the representation for Mars for the first house is Mars. And we're going to start with the physical. So Mars represents the manifestation of our active energy, us manifesting the ability to move and be active in things we like or enjoy doing. Now we like doing a lot of things, but there are particular things that we are naturally inclined to be very good at, or we're very well at doing these things. So when you are in tune with the things you are naturally good at, like your talents or your gifts, or maybe you're practicing on something and you're going to get good at it eventually. But when you're engaged in your talents or things, your skills, when you manifest doing those things, you are manifesting Mars energy. And Mars is physical exertion, a force towards things that you enjoy doing. It's pleasurable. Sex is also sex. Mars is also represented by sex. Sex is a physical act, and it's a physical act where we engage in the five senses. We're touching, we're feeling, we're tasting, we're doing the five senses. So Mars is actually manifested and engaged during sex because it's a physical thing we enjoy. Most of us. Okay? Can't speak for everybody. So Mars is making sure that you are engaged in your talents and that your talents and your activities towards your talents are bringing you joy or bringing you pleasure. Okay? That's the physical side of the first house. Engaging in your talents, and hopefully turning that talent into maybe a job where you can make money from, or maybe just a hobby that brings you happiness. Maybe it's not a job, but you have balance in your life where you're actually doing things you enjoy. And so in that sense, you are using or manifesting Mars energy. Okay, this stuff is automatic. We manifest Mars energy all the time. Okay, we don't think that that's what it is, but it is. When you're actively engaged in stuff that you like and you're having a good time and you're being led to enjoy that, that's Mars energy. Spiritual energy in this house would be Aries. Aries is the representation of being led towards something, being pulled in the direction of something. Okay, I like this thing, I like doing this thing, and I'm going to continue to engage in this activity, and that is building a road towards your destiny when you're doing that. Okay, when you're engaged in your talents and you're being led in the right direction for you, what feels good for you, then you are utilizing first house energy to the max. And continuing down this path, using this Mars and Aries energy, they collab together and you become enlightened about your talents. You become enlightened about what you're good at. And you use this information to maybe get money from it, or just be overall a happier person because you're doing what you love. But this is inner work on you based on the physical, and that helps give you a good handle on the spiritual or the inner part of you. Okay, so there's two sides to this house. There is the physical part, you being active, moving towards what you like, and there is the physical side. No, and there is the spiritual side. There is the spiritual side, and that is being led towards what you like. You know, something is pulling you in a direction, and maybe you're fighting it. Maybe you have a job and you work and you don't really have time to do your to work on what you think your talents would be. But this would be what we would call a challenge, because it's not easy to just, stop what you're doing and work on your talents. In most cases, people can't do that. We have families, we have things we have to take care of. You can't just quit. But your overall quality of life increases when you do things you enjoy. And when you eventually do them enough where you can start you having a mindset that says, how can I make money from this? I'm so good at this. Okay? When you begin to make that shift, when you try to turn your talents and skills into your career or to something that you can make money from, you're using first house energy now. You're using Mars and Aries energy now. And now you're going to really start beginning to see what it means to manifest. Okay? Because what we're doing down this astrological path is manifesting with these energies, one by one. The first house, you're manifesting your physical body to engage in your talents. You're also manifesting the direction in which your life is going to be led down. Okay, this is the first house of manifestation. This is a physical house. Physical things have to be happening here. Now, I, for one, have a challenge with my first house energy. My first house energy, my Mars in my zodiac, in my astrological chart, is not in the first house. So my Mars is elsewhere. So when it comes to me being motivated towards my talents, I can become fairly lazy when I'm when I'm not doing it. When I'm off from working on my talents, I enjoy that, and I enjoy being lazy. And so it's harder for me to get back motivated. But I do have enough Aryan energy. I don't have a lot of Mars energy in the right places, but I have enough Aries energy that to where I'm led towards what I need to do. And of course, if you don't know how much energy you have, you'll have to get you can go get a free birth chart reading if you know that your time of birth. You can just Google it. But it'll tell you how many planets are in of what type of sign. And so that just means that, like, for example, if my sun is in Scorpio. So that means when I run into Scorpio energy type of situations, I'm just a little better at handling it. If someone is an Aries sun, their sun is in Aries, or they were born under Aries time, then they're going to be better at handling their talents or things that they enjoy being naturally led to. They're going to some kind of way find a way to be engaged with that a little better than the rest of us, maybe because their spirit is more leaning in that direction. They were born under those conditions. So this has been my talk about the first house. This house is a challenge for me. I'm trying to balance it. I'm trying to increase my level of motivation because I do have Aries energy and I do want to work on stuff and be more active in my talents. So it's a challenge for me. If it's not a challenge for you, then more than likely, you are someone who already knows their talents and are already moving in the right direction. And so you got the first house energy down pat. if you're engaged in the things that you enjoy, and you know your talents, and you're in the direction of creating a profit or job from your talents or around your talents, you're utilizing the first house to the 10th degree. And kudos to you, because it's not easy. It's not. So kudos to you if you're doing that. For the rest of us, we got to work on the first house. And for me personally, I had to work on the Mars part of my first house. Aries is good. I'm being led in the right spiritual direction. But my Mars is no bueno. So, thank you so much for watching this video on the first house. I will be making more videos like this, and I'll see you next time.